and welcome. Today is Saturday, the 28th of October, 2023, eclipse day, which is kind of perfect because the moon's playing a part. So, sorry, there's still people coming in. Yes, Ken, the space has been set, trust me. Okay, so I said I had a bit of a story to tell. And it actually starts in 18. I think I said 17 in my email, but it turned out it was 18. May of 18. When Leeloo introduced me to the being from home that she called the creator, as in the original architect, the one who some call the 13th ancient, the 13th original, who pulled in 12 of his mates to create this place. What I noticed over the following year was the way that things started to deteriorate in here. Things became far more difficult. And in exactly a year later, in May of 19, I had a conversation with Leeloo and others, and I kind of threw a bit of a tantrum, and I said, this guy's not right. He needs looking at. I don't trust him. And I asked Leeloo to read my code so that she could see what had gone on in the last year since he'd been introduced. It was all a bit confrontational. And in the end, it was deemed that because he had invested so much of his soul essence into this place, that he needed a mind wipe, basically. And something to that degree had never been done before. So nobody was sure really what that was going to mean for him. And if you've been following the bouncing ball with me for a while, you know I've been saying that since March of this year, we moved into this, where the game went live, and we've moved into a space where the inverted can be turned right side up. I believe things were turned right side up on Monday, at the very mainframe core code, source code level. So what came out in May of 19 was that the creator had been infected with the virus like anybody else. That he had attempted, or he had created, a pocket realm. It was explained at that time. Now, this is a different order than I've talked about more recently and others talk about, but back then it was described as realm 1 was source, realm 2 was home, realm 3 was this space, void space, realm 4 was what we call the astral, and that we were in what they were calling realm 5. And that in 3, 4, and 5 is where you can create dimensional spaces and pocket realms and things like that. And what he had done was create a pocket realm in here in realm 5 in order to keep this thing going a little bit longer. It was obviously known at that point that people were going to start leaving of their own volition. It was around that time. No, actually it wasn't. That came later. So I'm trying to give you this in sort of chronological order as it was experienced. But so we discovered that the creator is infected with the virus. He has to get a mind wipe, and this pocket realm is discovered, which is then deleted. The whole point of that was to create delays. It was the lowest possible timeline kind of play out. And that a lot of unnecessary, Holmes said at that time, back in 19, a lot of unnecessary pain has been created. And that was in 19. And then, of course, we went into what we went into in March of 2020. So, but later in 19, through a series of like what the members and I would call our energetic doings, dreams, insights, downloads, a whole bunch of things led to the idea that, or this narrative started to form straight out of Harry Potter, that knowing his mind was going to be wiped, he created, and that image of like that fetus-looking Voldmort kept showing up, that he had created what we could call Horcruxes scattered throughout the realm. Had a chance to talk to Leeloo about it. Leeloo's like, right, we're on it. And I feel they've been hunting them ever since. Right. Now on Sunday, last Sunday, now this is how it all started to fall into place. Right. Sunday for me, I was the recipient of a very, very personal and very directed energetic attack. Nearly landed me in hospital. Thankfully, I had Hamish that I was able to reach out to and contact, and he did some pretty hardcore triage on me, which was amazing and felt immediately. And then much later that day, Alicia sort of cleaned up the rest. That I understand had a couple of intentions, but one of which was to potentially stop what happened on Monday. Monday, working with another who is the one who actually did the work, really. I was more sort of in support and witness. In the mainframe, turned the coding right side up. The blowback from that was immediate, I can tell you. So that was Monday. Which also I think happened because on Monday, because I feel like another Horcrux was found, so to speak. And it all sort of tied in. Tuesday, major interference in the field and blowback. And that's the day that a lot of us were feeling this third eye pressure and head pressure. Come Wednesday, you could feel the chaos kind of in the field, but not necessarily because it was blowback, I don't think. So bigger picture is pocket realm. Now, also, if you've been following the bouncy ball, you know that I've been talking about these blue and green paths. And the green path came up 21 probably for the first time. People I used to work with back then were told to follow the green line. That's actually what they were told. And not long after, I was told to follow the blue. Completely forgotten about it until more recently when I kept seeing this green line. And there was a little while ago where I saw it as a lane, a lane on a highway that was blocked, and there was backlog. So pocket realm, the green line was the pathway to the pocket realm. But because there was no pocket realm, the path led to nowhere, which is why people were backing up on it. And it was the dystopian, maybe a little bit of nuclear, World War III, one world order, drawn out, just a little bit of pain, just a little bit more suffering, because just because kind of pathway and timeline. And where the original pairs fit into this is the understanding that at the end, the pairs come together at the end. If they're both in here, then they come together at the end. And it felt very much like one of the pairs, where possible, was being pulled down that green path and into that pocket. Because if they can never come together, then the thinking was, then it never ends.
Hi, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you're interested in the full 1.5 hour conversation, link is in the description. And if not, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.